Hello guys and welcome to the next part of this small series. This is going to be a brief series because I just want to give you guys I want to give you guys some hints, tips or guides so that you can participate in the contest that we're going to have. I just want to clarify a couple of things before we move on to the actual base mesh of my character. So let's go here to the mainstream. Whoa, what the hell? It's my OBS setup. There we go. So this is we've talked about the creature is supposed to be a magical, whimsical creature. Okay, so it has to be a little bit cute. We need to go into the cute side of things. Not necessarily like totally cute, but it should be, again, magical or whimsical. Okay, now we set up a 30k triangle limit. That's the limit of triangles you're going to have on your final retopology. We did the Fogling retopology, and the Fogling only had about 20,000 triangles. So I figured with 30k, you should be able to create something that looks very, very cool. There's not going to be more points or more like extra valuation if you have lower triangles. So make sure to keep it within this limit. Or use as most of it as possible, rather, because if you go for like a 3k triangle mesh, it's just going to be very low poly and you're not going to be able to compete against the other ones. We are going to have prices, by the way. We're going to have prices. They're going to be a little bit different than last time, but I'm going to be announcing them in the next couple of weeks as well. You are allowed to have 2 4k maps, okay? One of those is for the character. And if you're gonna do like a little base or a little like stand or a small little environment, you can do one for that environment as well. So maximum 2 4k maps. We are gonna be working with PBR, okay? So it's gonna be a PBR material. However, if you wanna go a little bit stylized, like what we did with the Fogling, where we did a little bit of like light painted and shadow painting, you can do that as well. If you want to go like full on stylized, like hand paint everything, that's fine. The only reason I'm not including it as part of like the material, I'm actually going to add it here. It can be hand painted. I'm not expert at hand painting textures for characters, so that's why I'm not going to, like, the things that you're going to see me doing are not going to be hand painted. And the thing that you're going to have to present is a render. It's supposed to be, or it's going to be a 1920 by 1080 render. Only one render, okay? You're gonna name this render. We're gonna talk about this as we get closer to the finishing date. This render, you're gonna call it your name, for instance, Abraham underscore Leal underscore the name of your character. I'm gonna call this reindeer for now, and then you're gonna call this submission. Okay, which is your submitted file. .jpeg, targa, PNG, whatever you want, that's fine. I don't really care about that one. But it's just gonna be one submission. If it's not named like this, we're not gonna ballot it. Okay, it has to be like this. You can add more, you can add like extra renders if you want to show them, but the one that we're gonna be evaluating the most is the submission. So be very careful about what you submit, because I've had the other students in the past. I think it didn't happen in the last contest, but it has happened other times when I teach classes. They do amazing looking extra renders, but the main render that they're submitting is horrible. So make sure your main render is always as good as possible. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, before we jump here, if you want to participate and you're like, oh, I would love to know how to do this, but I'm still really new. I don't know a lot of things about 3D. We have a super epic bundle that you can make use of. Hey guys, we have some great news for you. We know how important it is to prepare yourself and keep learning amazing skills to improve your portfolio, and that is why we're offering a super epic bundle of our best 50 courses for you. This epic bundle is available through ArtStation. It contains all of the videos and project files for our top 50 courses. We have modeling, sculpting, rendering, rigging, animation, Maya, characters, creatures, props, substance painter, Zbrush, Unreal Engine. All of the topics that we've been covering in the past years are going to be there. Our top 50 courses are going to be included in this bundle. This bundle is at a super price with an amazing 80% discount, and we will have this bundle available throughout January. So, if you are wanting, or you want to have some very nice New Year resolutions, if you want to increase your 3D levels and you want to become a master at the 3D art, then this is your opportunity. Make sure to check the link down below. There we go. So here we have our cute little guy. This is the render that I did yesterday. Yesterday was a small video on how to kind of like come up with ideas and get something out there so that we can start working. So now I'm actually going to go into the areas that I do master, which is like actual modeling. There's a lot of ways to start. I'm gonna show you one of my favorite ways to start, and this is actually included in pretty much all of the ZBrush courses that I teach, and it's the Zsphere method. So I'm gonna go here to my Zsphere, and I'm gonna draw one Zsphere. And the reason why I love working with Zspheres is they allow me to keep my stuff really organized, okay? So I'm gonna press Q here to go into draw mode, and we're gonna draw the torso. I'm gonna press X, of course, to get symmetry. And you should always like model or sculpt your characters so that they're facing forward. We have this little head right here that allows us to know where things are pointing. If you don't have this one, it's here on preferences, and it's called, I think it's called the cam view. Yeah, it's the cam view right here. You can make it bigger or smaller depending on how you want to work here on your viewport. But there we go. So this is gonna be the chest. This is gonna be like the stomach, and then I'm gonna draw one more Zsphere down here, which is gonna be like the pelvis. Definitely make the pelvis a little bit bigger. There we go. Then I'm going to press Q again. I'm going to draw another sphere, which is going to be my neck. I always click outside to clear the selection so that when you draw another sphere, you don't get any like weird effects. That's going to be the neck. Definitely like a little bit thicker. There we go. Click outside. That's going to be the head. And here's where you can already start playing around with proportions. So for instance, this to me seems a little bit small. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And then the reindeers have this sort of like weird like muscle thingy. So it's like in Spanish we call it hocico, which is like the mouth of an animal. Actually, that's it can be used as a slurred word as well. So here we're gonna have the shoulders, and then we're gonna draw two little guys right here. These are gonna be legs. Probably gonna press W. Press W here to move the Zspheres. Move them a little bit closer, like that. And then the back legs, usually a little bit stronger than the front legs. And they have something called a trilateral leg, right? So a trilateral leg is when the leg is divided into two sections. So this is going to be like one of the sections right there. Let's move it out. There we go. Oh, I like that. It's very chubby back legs. There we go. So this is usually what we have. So the trilateral leg is it's like dogs. This is a very interesting thing. About animals like horses and dogs, and pretty much any animal you can think of. They share a very similar way in how their back legs work. Same for the front legs. So usually here, oh, what the hell? Sorry, give me 1 second. My tablet for some reason is on the other side. There we go. So usually humans, we have the pelvis, and then the femur, then the tibia, and then the foot, right? The hind leg of all of the other animals is exactly the same. They have their pelvis, their femur, but then the tibia, instead of going down, it goes back. And what we see right here, the little like heel, it's actually their heel. Like our heel right here, it's theirs up here. And all of this section, all the way to the fingers, this is their foot. These are the metatarsals. So they go really, really long. Except for horses. Horses are slightly different because horses are actually like stepping on their I think it's their toe or like their index finger. And what you see, the hoof, it's like the nail. It's really painful. That's why when a horse is injured and they can't walk anymore, they're pretty much like done for, because it's very, very difficult for them to recover from that. So let's scale this thing down a little bit. I think it's a little bit big. So E to scale things down. W to move it around. There we go. And yeah, this gives us a really nice like basic shape for the body. We know that we're gonna have the horns. If you want to add the horns, we can add them already. I'm just gonna draw one line right there, one Zsphere. I'm gonna draw one more, and then I'm gonna just move with a very, very small draw size. I'm just gonna move this one. And what you can do is you can add a couple of spheres with Q, and then play around with how this thing is gonna be. So graphic shapes are really important, and stylized characters are a really good like they play really nicely with each other. So we can make the antlers in this case have a specific shape. So I'm gonna draw one more right there. There we go. And I would definitely keep this simple and stylized. It could be like the like a logo or resembling the logo of a specific like character or a specific region. For instance, in League of Legends, I don't play League of Legends anymore. I used to play it quite a bit when I was in at Noman. Actually, some peers over there got me into the game. But I love the lore. They have an amazing like set of stories, and they have something called Freljord. Freljord is the region, like the ice region. You know, in video games and stuff like that, there's always like a region. So you can see the crest of Freljord, this thing right here, sort of like the three thrives. Let's say like this is not the case for my particular character, but let's say my particular character was aligned with I think it was, what was her name? The Ice Witch. I always forget what her name is. Lysandra? I think it was Lysandra. We can use these shapes right here on the logo, the sort of like trilly things, and incorporate that into the design of our reindeer, and that would be a way to make it look like a little bit more related to everything inside of the world. So yeah, I like this one actually. I feel like it's a fun little one, and we're gonna be modifying and changing a couple of things here and there. But that's a good proportion, because I do want him to have quite big horns. If you don't want things to be as big, what you can do is you can press E, go to the base, and then if you click not on the sphere but on the bone, this thing right here, everything is gonna be like scaled up and down so that we can find a proper position. And I think that looks good. I like that. So yeah, as you can see, we have our cute little guy right here, a very basic base shape. I think the tail might not be a bad idea to add it already, so I'm just gonna make the tail right here. Let's draw another one, make it really thin. Usually, I think reindeer tails are quite small, so something like that. There we go. That looks fun. I think I'm gonna be moving this chest forward a little bit more. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe make the neck a little bit thicker. Base of the head. We can change all of these things. The base mesh, the most important part about the base mesh is that we have something that looks cool, and that we can start like modifying forms and special things about it once we jump. So once we have a base mesh that we like, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down here to the adaptive skin feature, and I'm gonna say preview. It's very important that we preview before we commit to this, because otherwise we might get a slightly weird result that it's not what we need or want. Sometimes if you see an error here on the preview, that means that your Zspheres were not placed correctly, so you might need to go back and delete them. Also, remember guys, we also have all of these courses available if you don't want to get the Epic Bundle, because I know it's a little bit of a huge commitment. It has a lot of information. It's a great price, but it's a huge commitment money-wise. We also have the Skillshare promotion. We have all of our courses available for free if you subscribe to Skillshare, and we're offering a 15-day free trial. I think it's a 15-day free trial if you follow the link down here. You can check our Zbrush courses, Introduction to Zbrush, all of these things there for free on the first 15 days, and then I think the price there is very, very affordable. So check that one out as well. Now, once we're happy with the adaptive skin, I'm just going to make adaptive skin here. And here, the skin is now ready to be worked with. And the cool thing about the skin is I can start using my move brush and all of the tools that we normally would use to start sculpting our character. Okay, so let me get some reference, because I don't have enough like reference. Let me look for like a baby reindeer. And oh my god, so cute. Sorry guys, I have a soft side. Look at that. So cute. So now that we have that, we need to translate this into our concept right here. My favorite brush to do this, of course, is the clay buildup, because it allows me to work really, really fast. I'm just gonna start carving in, because I can see that the muscle or this thing on the character is a little bit smaller than the rest of it. And then it has this very like pointy eyes right here. Now on our concept, we definitely want the eyes to be a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna make this way, way, way bigger. And this is where the eyelid, like this thing right here, I'm translating that and I'm getting it in right here. Then we'll have the nose would be right around there, and we'll have the mouth. I'm gonna definitely give it a little bit more chin. From the front view, it looks a little bit weird, so let's fix some of the proportions here. And then give me a little bit more jaw. The jaws are really important. A lot of people, I don't know why this happens. I feel like one of my keys gets like stuck or something. Give me 1 second, I'll solve this. Yeah, I don't know what that was. It happens sometimes. I feel like it's one of my keys or something that malfunctions or whatever. So yeah, the jaw is really important. People tend to forget about this one quite a bit, and they give their characters very small jaws, and that makes for a weak character overall. Oh my god. Let me add a sphere. So I'm gonna add a sphere, which is gonna be the eye, because right now it looks very, very creepy. So let's just add one quick eye right here. Big eye. Definitely want him to be quite fun and big. There we go. That looks about right. Nice. And we're gonna go see plugin, subtool master, and we're gonna mirror this to the other side. By the way, don't worry, we're gonna continue with the environment as well. But I wanna give you guys tools so that you can participate in this contest. We had, I think it was like 10 or 12 participants last time. Let's see if we can get to 20 or 30 participants. That would be great. So there we go. Now we can just finish the eye right there. Let's add the lower eyelid right here. As you can see, it's an important part of the whole thing. This I'm gonna push down a little bit. Oh, you know what I forgot, and it's really making him look weird? The ears. Very quick way to add the ears. Just mask this out, invert the mask, and then with V and with V, which is the move brush, just bring the ears. I kind of want to give him like floppy ears. Let's Dynamesh, and now we have some elements right there. We can give him some interesting floppy ears, because I kind of want to see the ears at the same time as I see the horns. Like, I don't want the horns to be like obscuring this. Now, it's very weird to have something that's asymmetrical as the horns. So I'm going to go and mask them out real quick. Mask everything out. There we go. Invert the mask, and I'm going to move the pivot point to right about there, to the base of the horn. And then we can rotate this back. We can even like give it a little bit of inclination there. So that way we pretty much keep the same shape, but we're modifying it so we can see it a little bit better on the side. So we Dynamesh there. There we go. Let's use trim dynamic to start cleaning up some of these things right here. See how by cleaning the planes, we get a nicer, cleaner mesh, of course. The horns, we do need some sort of like a bump there to indicate that the horns are coming from the skull. So we just do that. And let's make him happy. Let's make a happy reindeer. There we go. Oh. Now on the concept, we didn't have anything here, but I do want to give him kind of like a mane. I don't know, it's kind of one of those things that I'm really excited about, and I feel like reindeers have the mane, right? Or is it that I've seen too many Christmas movies with my kid? But they usually have like a little bit of a mane here. Now, this is just the blocking, of course. It's just the blocking of where the mane is gonna be, and we can start doing a very quick blocking here with on the back as well. This is the back muscles. Just adding some volume, especially here, like on the hips. The back legs tend to be quite powerful. Most like herbivore animals, especially herd animals like these guys, cows, sheep, all those guys, they tend to have like a really strong effect. And now you can see I love the hoofs. I love the hoofs. I'm gonna inflate the legs on the bottom part so we can get the hoofs. And then to flatten them, I'm gonna press Control Shift, and we're gonna go for the knife curve. And we're just gonna flatten them right there. And it's gonna give us a nice effect. I think I'm being inspired a little bit about the Sven, the little reindeer that appears on the Frozen. My baby girl has been seeing a lot of Frozen lately, and there's a sequence at the beginning of the movie where there's baby Sven, and he's really cute as well. So yeah, there we go. Doesn't look that bad for a Blockin. We've been working at this for 20 minutes, and we already have something that starting to give us some sort of like idea of how the character is gonna look. That's one of the things that I think is most important about production. The artists that I usually struggle with the most is artists that are very hesitant about their work. So they wait until they have everything perfect before they start working. It's like, no, just start working. Just start doing your sculpting, start doing modeling, your texturing, whatever. And then that way I can give you feedback. Your lead, your client, they can see what's going on, and they can tell you, okay, I like it or I don't like it, right? Because if you spend too much time just planning things out, you never do them. And then time just runs by, and you're behind on the deadline, stuff like that. So that's not what you want to do. There we go. Let's clean the eyes a little bit more. I want to give it a little bit of a front thing right there, like a forehead. Right, not bad, right? Not bad. I think I do want to make the mane like even a little bit more extreme. And he has, on the concept, he has a little bit of a beard here. So I'm going to use my move brush to give it a little bit of like facial hair. Just a little bit. Like fur. It's going to be just like extra fur. Like on these areas. Let's clean some of that stuff up. Let's define the nose a little bit better. I've never seen a reindeer in real life. I'm guessing I'm guessing you can't get close to them. They might be really dangerous, but I'm guessing they're cool. There we go. He's very fat. This guy is very, very chubby. I think I want to do that. So I'm just gonna like bring this up and make him a little bit chubbier. Just with the move brush, moving proportions around. The move brush is super powerful in this stage because it allows you to make this like big changes without having to think too much about the overall thing. On this arm, we're gonna have the elbows right around here. And again, some of you guys like the fact that when I was designing doing the fogling, because that one was based on a concept, I was explaining the kind of things that you need to think about for rigging, right? So for instance, here, in this back leg, one of the things that I really need is I need to remove this section right here, all of this mess, because trying to rig a leg that's semi-flexed like this, it's going to make it really, really, really difficult. So I really need to push his butt up a little bit, flatten all of this if needed, because the joints are going to go from here to here to here and then down here. So I need to have a good form on this area right here. I might need to bring the knee up a little bit. We have a good form right there so that we can work with things like in the proper way. But there we go. That's I think that would be like a good first approach for the whole thing. And if you've managed to stay all the way till the end, let me know in the comments. I don't want to do this, or I've seen some creators do like, this is the secret word. If you place it in the comments, that means that you got all the way here. I don't think, I don't know. I don't like that dynamic as much. But what we can do though is I'm going to give you an extra tip. Like I'm going to give you one more like secret tool so that you can scroll, of course. But if you're having issues with Zspheres, we actually have this thing called the Zzoo. And the Zzoo is one of the things inside of the projects folder here inside of Zbrush. And it's a lot of different armatures. A gazelle, a goat, a gorilla, a hummingbird, kangaroo, koala, meerkat, ostrich. Like look at how many different animals we have right here. I don't know who did all of this. Probably someone at Pixlogic or a contractor or something. But there's so many great base meshes. So if you're doing like, let's say a wolf, you just double click on this guy, you convert it onto adaptive skin, or you modify the Zspheres as I did with my little reindeer, and then you're good to go. Okay, so you can skip the Zspheres. I know a lot of people don't like Zspheres as much. You can skip the Zspheres if you want, but as you can see, they're a perfect way to create something that gives us a nice indication of how things are gonna go. So make sure to start working on your project. If you work at least 2 days per week on this project from now till the deadline, which is at the end of February, I'm sure you're gonna have a great project. Remember that it's quite a bit of work. You need to do sculpting and then retopology for games and then texturing. That's the final asset that we're going to be evaluating. And even though it's a competition and there's going to be winners, I always like to use this sort of opportunities to work on your portfolio. So if you're working on a portfolio, like participating on this contest, it's a perfect way to build a piece. Even if you don't win, you're going to have a strong piece for your portfolio. And of course, there's the incentive, the motivation of the prizes to go for that. So yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Our little character right here is looking quite nice. Tomorrow, Sunday, we won't have any video, but we will have a video, or actually we will have our live stream on Monday. Actually, if you've managed to arrive at this part of the video, I would love to know what's the best hour for you guys if I were to start doing this a little bit more frequently. I'm thinking about doing this every single Monday. Now, there's 2 options. I can do it early morning, like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Mexico time, which would be 9 a.m., 10 a.m., or 11 p.m. or 11 p.m. Indian time. Or I could do it late on Monday, which would be like 9 p.m. for Mexico, which would be 9 a.m. Tuesday for you guys in India, which I know most of the audience is over there. So let me know in the comments what kind of hour would work best. If there's enough information, I'll follow that for this Monday. If not, I'll just grab a specific schedule and go for it and see how many people we get. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you very much. And I'll see you back on the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.